Yeah, so this is another thing that's inside for rendering. That's why it's coming up. So when you put on your Revit, it will be the window will be like this. So we said models represent the projects, while families are objects in the project. So when you get to the modeling interface, you click on new and then go to metric architectural, because our standard of units there is meters, millimeters. So metric, and then okay. And so this is the drawing interface. And we talked about the properties dialog box. Let's call it a floating box because you can place it anywhere based on your experience. Where do you want it to be on your screen? It can be here. The two of them can be together on the screen. So I can put the two of them in one tab, and then I can switch between the two of them. So if I click on properties, properties will come up, or project browser to come up here. Okay.
Where do you normally click on to bring them up?
So at the base here, you see properties and then project browser. So is it on your screen now?
The base, where's the base, please?
Here.
I'm looking for the cursor. Your cursor.
Okay, see there. My cursor is going down to the end.
Okay.
So properties
I
and
can't
project
see.
browser.
Okay, I can see your cursor now.
So do you have your project browser and your properties on your screen now? Because normally when you open the Revit for the first time, you should see the two of them probably scattered. But if they are not showing at all, can you see them on your screen now?
Yes, we can.
Can you see it?
The property box.
Property and project browser, are they showing? If they're not showing, I can tell you where to get them from.
Property is showing.
Is project browser showing?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you go to the view. So if you click on view and then user interface. So you go to user interface, you can select the ones like these boxes that are checked. So you see that my project browser is on, my properties is on. So make sure that they are ticked so that way they will also show on the screen. All right, so we talked about drawing a simple for, let's say, a room, gatehouse. So we want to start with the sites. So we said the properties will give us the properties of any icon that we pick or any page. And then the project browser is for us to navigate, like move from one place to another. So if I go back to the project browser, we have already, it opens by default. So we have level 1, level 2, and the site. So we want to start from the ground up. So I'll select the site, you double click on site. So now we are on the site sheets here. So
where's the project browser? Sorry to cut you.
I'm not used to working. So the project browser, I brought it out now.
Are you following on your phone? If you're following on your phone, you have to magnify it because I'm following on my phone. So yes, I'm stretching the screen because it's not going to show well.
Yes, I'm even using a laptop. So I can see well, but maybe each time you want to click on something new, you move your browser around so that we can identify where you know
which one it is. Maybe I change the color of the cursor so that's
I think
always showing me different styles. So anyway, so this is the cursor. You can see it now, right? I'm moving it. Okay, so now this is the project browser. I've put it back how it was before. So because I'm used to working with it like this, so pick one style and then you stick to it there. You have your project browser and then properties. So right now I've opened the site. So when we want to make the sites, we go to massing and sites and then topo surface. So for this topo surface, we pick, you can change the height. Let's say it's a slopey terrain. You can change the height of this elevation. Right now it's 0. So it's automatically selected the place point. So we click to place the point. We're saying that it's on the 0 level all round. And then once you finish clicking those 4 corners and then you check the green mark, and then we have the site. We'll say look at this site, you click on the house icon at the top there, and then you see the site. Another thing I mentioned was to see different ways of looking at what we have in this window. You can see it with wireframe, hidden line, shaded. So shaded, consistent colors, and realistic. So realistic is a heavier file, so it takes a while. So but always draw with shaded because it will make your computer work faster. Right now, so we're still in the 3D, we go back to sites, and then we want to place the building pad on the site. So select the building pad, which is acting like America, they normally do the slab and then they build the wooden house on top. So that's why you have that building pad there. But for us, we have those foundation walls and then up. So we'll still do, this is like the first exercise that we'll do, which is the 4 walls. Then we'll do the one that we're building a 3-bedroom bungalow from foundation up. So for the building pad, everything we click always goes to modify. And then in this modify, you can select to draw with a line, with a rectangle, pentagon, and circle or arc, anyone that you need to use. So we selected this rectangular icon, which you can also use to draw a square. So what we did before was a 6x6 square. I didn't click. So we have the square here, and then once you finish doing that, you want to check the green mark. Well, I want to see, let me see, offsets, edit type. So even with the building pad, I was supposed to actually duplicate. So I mentioned that everything we want to do, we want to duplicate it before we change the settings. So let's say call it the slab and then 1. So we're editing the structure. What do we want the thickness to be? Usually our slabs are 150 on the thing, but I'm assuming that this is all from the ground, so that's 600. And then I pick a material for its concrete casting, please. I think I'm waiting for it now. Cast in situ, and then okay, okay, and okay. So we click the green mark to show that we are finished editing that tool. And so here we see that it's in the ground. We want to put it height offset from the ground to be 600. So that way it will come up from the ground. So with this, we have done our site level. We want to move to, so in the other section, we created the levels. So for you to draw with those levels as constraints, you want to set them. So I'm going to one of the elevations. I'm double clicking on the east elevation. And we see that we have only level 1 and 2. So what we did before was we created the foundation level. We go to architecture, go to level, and then we can either draw it in or offset. So using this offset, I'll go to here and say my foundation was a 900 below the ground level. If I click here, it has given me that 900, and then hit your escape button to come out of the level. And then if you click on this level, you can change the name to what you want. So I'm calling the foundation level. And so it will ask us, do you want to rename the corresponding views? And we say yes. And so we have the foundation level appearing here as the new name for this foundation level. So we have this level 1 as 0, which we want to change to ground level. So if you click on that level 1, you can change it to ground level. Rename the corresponding view here, so it will change from level 1 to ground level here. And then we can always arrange this so that we can see. So if I click on it and then go to, it's picking the sites for me. So if I click on this one and go to move, so you can use it the way you use the AutoCAD, and then you can move it so that they don't clash with each other. So ground, foundation, ground level, we want the floor level, which is at 600. So because I already have something that is showing it, I can draw this one in. So architecture level, and I have lines, so I can come and click at the edge here and then get that level and then name it floor level. So yes. And then we want to have the roof level. So now we see that it is, yes, this is all at 4 when it should be 3.6. I want it to be 3.6, so I'll change it to 3.6. That is 3 for the wall and then 600 for this 0 to floor level. So now that we have our levels, we then want to put in the walls. So go to the wall. Once you click on wall, the modify should change and tell us what we can draw the wall with. Okay, so because I'm in the elevation, is not responding, so I need to go to the level that I'm going to draw the wall in. This is elevation. I want to do the wall on the floor level, so I'm double clicking on it and then go to the wall. So when we click on the wall, we have the line. So one thing I learned is if there's a mistake, just always say the computer is right and the person is the one making the mistake, and you troubleshoot till you know what you're doing wrong. So if you go to the wall settings, all over here, just start reading. At the top here, you see 8,000. That means its default is at 8. We want to change it to 3 meters because we're doing a bungalow. So 3. And then this place is telling us how do we want the wall to appear. Should it be center line? Should it be core center line? Should it be finished face exterior, interior, like that? So right now it's on center line. I'll leave it there. Should it be chained? Means as I'm drawing, will I draw and stop, or chain, continuous draw? And then do I want to offset it from where I'm clicking, just like the overhang should, but now we're drawing at the same point. So leave it at 0. And then we say to edit the type. And then duplicate it. So for everything you want to duplicate and then change the settings to what you want. So wall 150 wall. Okay, because at the end of the day, when you want to generate your schedules, it is the name that you give it that will appear. So when we do that, we edit the structure of the wall. We're editing the thickness. We're calling it 150 wall. So change the number to 150. Set the material for the wall. I picked a concrete masonry unit before. Okay. And then we say okay. So right now we're on the floor level, but we are not seeing our sides. So when that happens, we're still on the wall system. So I'm going to just draw one wall here so that I don't miss my settings, and then I'm going to look for the thing I'm drawing with. So we're not seeing the building part. You want to see it from this level. So I come to this part where we have the properties browser, underlay, range base saying none. So but I want to see up to, I'm picking the lowest level, so everything shows up. So when I do that, I'm seeing now the sides and the building pad. So I'm going to click on this wall and right click and say create similar. I want to create a wall that is similar to that. And then I'm picking the box, the rectangular tool, zooming on this, and then draw the wall. So he always hit escape when you're done. So I'm going to delete this now. I don't need this other wall anymore. And then 3D. So we come and see our wall. So remember before.
This is magical.
So yeah, so you need to learn it so that even if you don't, and the magic has not even started. I've not even learned all the magic you can do with it, because as I'm drawing like this, 10 people can be on this drawing at the same time. Your civil engineer can be working, your electrical engineer will be here. They'll build the building, put all the pipes and everything to check and make sure that it's working before you start building. So as it is this way, we said before that we want to, if we start this way, this is like I'm doing a 3D for getting the job. It's not working drawing. So we are drawing in that working drawing style. If not, we want to take it to the foundation level with the walls. So we come here to the east, select one wall, right click and say, select all instances in entire project, because I want to take it to foundation. And then I come to this properties, the stop constraints. Let me make that, even though this doesn't change the roof level, so that wherever, if we change the height of the roof, if you constrain it to the roof and you change the height of the roof, it will follow it. And then base constraints, I'm saying now to go to foundation. So it has gone to the foundation. So because I put the constraint at roof level, if I change this number to even 6 meters, the wall will go with me to 6, wherever I send it to, it will just keep going. So I want to stay back at 3.6. So after this, we want to put the windows and the doors. So go back to the floor level. So what happens is we have a lot of people that don't have architectural knowledge using these tools to make houses. That's why you can spot and say, oh, I don't like this house, even though somebody uses the best software and they are fast. So it's up to us architects to learn it and then use them, because people want you to use them. It's a standard in the construction industry now. So we go to the door. If we select the door, edit the type, and then duplicate it, we say D1. Okay. And then I can change the height of the door now. And then the width, I'm changing it to 2.1, the width to 900. And then, okay. So here, once you come to the wall, it will show you where the door is, and it will show you the distance of the door to each side. Because I'm moving with this door, you see that it's changing from 400, 900, it's telling me the distance. I want to centralize it. I wait till I get to the center. I see 2475 on each side, and I click. And then even with this door in place, I can hit my tab. I'm pressing I select the door first, and then I hit my tab button. It will rotate the door to all the sides. Which one do you prefer? Or you can click on the arrows and then get it to which swing and which side you want it to go to. And most times you just look at, anytime you do something, you want to see it, does it look okay? I want to change something. And then I go back to my floor level, go to window, edit type, I'm duplicating it, W1. And then with all these things are settings. So here we can change, set the parameter type, or click inside this search type and then pick the different materials for the parts of the window that you want. I'm changing the dimensions to 1 to 100, and then the width. Okay. So coming here, so make sure the window is outside. So you see that it will tell you where the center is. And then we have 3 windows now. So I don't want to see the tags now. So these tags are telling you the number of the window. So you can hide things that you don't want to see in each sheet, in each view. If I hide it here, it doesn't hide in other views. So I'm selecting that, and it says override the graphics, or I can go hide in view to elements, one will go. If I select it and say hide in view for category, the 2 of them disappear. So depending on if you want to hide one thing or all of the things at once. So the 3D, we're seeing we have our windows in place here. So we move to the roof level. So we want to put the roof. So we go to the roof level, double click here. We are seeing the top of our building. So now I go to architecture and then roof. So with this roof, edit type, duplicate, give it the name that you want to appear on your schedules, and then edit. The thickness of the roof is 400 now. Usually we end up with a slim roof because we'll put this casement around it. So here, selecting the roof finish that you want to see. There are still a lot of them in the library, but one of them that shows up here is the roofing tile. So, okay. So we have the roofing tile. And then, okay. So in these roof settings, we can set the overhang, we can set the kind of slope that we want. So I'm going to pick the rectangle first, then set the overhang to be 600, so that when I click here, it's already giving me that 600 overhang. And I click at this other edge. So we have the roof in place, and then check the green mark. So look at it there, see that the roof is in place. And then before we talk about putting the fascia, so if I go back to architecture, roof, click on the arrow under the roof, we can put fascia, we can put gutter. So if I click on these edges, it gives me the fascia, and I go back to the roof, we can put the gutter. If I click on the edge, is that going to show? Say could not create it, so cancel, escape. I go back to go back to roof, click on the gutter. I haven't finished doing the Let me see why. Could not create the gutter. There's an error. Okay, so let me finish putting the fascia around and see if it's still giving me the error. So I go to the other sides, we have a wheel to move around the building. So when you click on the wheel and drag it, go to the center, click on somewhere to be the center, and then you drag it inside that orbit and move around. And then we go for that fascia again. Click here and here. So if I have that all around, let me select roof. So this modify comes in to select. I select the roof, go to architecture for gutter now. Okay, I'm clicking on the wrong place. That's why. So like I said, we always want to just assume that the computer is right and then go to the software. So the gutter is supposed to be at the end. So it's intuitive in the sense that it will not let you do something that is wrong too. So architecture, roof, and I go to gutter. So the gutter is supposed to be at the end of the fascia, not at the top. Yeah. So center, orbit, and then do on these two other sides. Roof, bottom. Okay, so can change the color of the material and all that to subsequent classes. So what we did before, last thing we did was the sites, and then we'll be done now. So if you go to the sites, we talked about the material, changing this to grass. Yes, so in 3D, we can see that happen. So if we select the site, go here, we want to change this material to grass. So click on the side, we say the grass will not automatically appear. So there is a place to create a new material. If you click on, if you settle the mouse here, create and duplicate material, create new material, and then you'll see it appear here, default new material. I'll give it the name. So I'm renaming it to grass. And then over here, we're going into the assets browser to get the material for this new thing that we're making for the grass. So you don't want to scroll forever. So search for grass. And then we have different types of grass. I picked a high quality grass, and then you click on this arrow at the side here to transfer this material to the new one that we have made. So we say apply, we're applying the material, and okay. So if I come out here and then go to realistic, so this is shaded view, so you might not see that. So if I click on realistic view, it'll take a while to load and then show us the grass. And then we said we have grass all around. If you want to create an access to the building, that will be the site level. Let me drag this back. So on the site level, going to massing and sites, you use the sub-region because it automatically merges to the sites. So with this now, I don't know where my door is. I want to see where the door is. So I'm going to cancel, zoom in. I'm seeing this thing from the roof because this view is set to look at it from a very high point. So in order to change the height that we're cutting out for sections and all that, in this properties browser, we have the view range edit. So now if you look at here, it says the top is at 100,000, the cut plane is at 100,000. So I want to cut it at maybe 1200 so that I can see part of the plan. So if I say apply, okay, you see that it automatically changes to give me my plan so that I can see where the door is. So I go back to my sub-region. I want to create that access. So I'm saying, give me the rectangle so I can draw something that takes me across to the grass. Okay, so check. And then if we look at the 3D, we see that it's in place there. And then we can change this material to concrete cast in place. Cast in situ. Okay, so that's it for the simple house. So any questions? I have 2 new messages.
I need to go immediately.
Right. All right, so we're done for today, and the time we're fast spent. So thank you all. I will send this video to Madam, and then she'll share it with you. Thank you all for showing up. Okay, bye bye. Let me end it. So if you have any questions, I'll put my email in the chat. If you have
Thank you very much.
Yeah, let me put my email in the chat. If you have any questions, you can let me know. So Patricia.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yes, you call me Mr. Emeka.
Yes. Have you worked with ArchiCAD before?
Yes, I use ArchiCAD a lot. When I was in Nigeria, that was the only thing I was using. I use ArchiCAD and Atlantis.
Okay, I used to use ArchiCAD myself, but not so
what are the advantages of Revit over ArchiCAD, and what do you switch over?
Yeah, so when I used ArchiCAD, I was mainly using it for 3D. I use AutoCAD for my working drawings and ArchiCAD for 3D.
For rendering.
Yeah, for rendering, and then I'll take it into Atlantis to do the final rendering. Okay, so what I see here with Revit is the construction capabilities, you know, like you don't need to do much for the working drawings. That's what I feel is the wow factor for Revit. But ArchiCAD was more like a rendering thing for me. So do you use ArchiCAD for working drawings?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so they are similar. So I have somebody that was arguing with me in the group that he prefers his ArchiCAD. So basically find out how Revit works, and then if you're more comfortable with ArchiCAD, that's fine. But I think construction industry is tilting more towards Revit than ArchiCAD.
Exactly, that's what I noticed.
Yeah, so
I noticed it.
Join them.
It's because
thank you very much.
BIM connection. It's because of the BIM connection. And you know, BIM, AI, they are interwoven and all of that, and the world is seriously going in that direction.
Yes, because we are big on sustainability. Like my PhD and everything was on sustainability. So the beauty of Revit is, as we're doing this thing now, you can pull up everything, the sizes, the dimensions, the quantities. You don't need to do any special calculation. And most software, like you have a tally that will give you your greenhouse gas emissions. You have 3D, 3C, E3C for sustainability. They are all linked to Revit. So that's why it's more universal than ArchiCAD.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. See you people
Thank
next
you.
week.
Good afternoon on your side, and good night to everybody on this side.
Yeah, good night to you all.
Thank you. May the Lord bless you for helping us. Thank you.
God bless you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now bye-bye.
Bye-bye.